Alright, so I just got my first FSD intervention of the day. I'm able to reactivate now, so I'm going to go ahead and reactivate. So it's due to this sun glare right here. So, I had another video come out about how the sun glare wasn't having any impact. And so I just want to call out that, like, it is still there, right? It is an issue that is known. However, it's not like that big of a deal. I've done some tests with rain puddles, and now I'm kind of testing the sun glare here. And I disengaged. I was probably disengaged for maybe 100, 200 feet or something like that before I was able to like re-engage again. Now, it could have been more feet than that. Let's maybe even say it was 1,000 feet. However, it may not be a foot thing. It may not be a distance condition that's causing me not to be able to re-engage. It's a plausibility that the vehicle could be able to stop and then re-engage. Now, in this instance, I did not stop and re-engage. If it does it again, I might just go ahead and do that if I don't have any vehicles behind me. But I'm traveling like 300 miles today, and I probably covered at least like 250 miles of those 300. And this is my first disengagement, and the sun has been here like this the entire time. And I just got my first disengagement for sun glare. So again, it is an issue, but like, is it an issue for Robotaxi to become a thing? Because as I got the red hands and got the alert, in that exact instance, if there was somebody being able to teleoperate, they could log in, handle the vehicle. And when I say handle the vehicle, they could even do something as simple as like have a dead man switch with them. What is a dead man switch? A dead man switch is I'll flip this around real quick. A dead man switch is it's like something that you hold, and if you let go of it, it will e-stop whatever it is. So you see this a lot in like robotics and stuff like that. So another thing a dead man switch also has, if you squeeze too hard, it will also e-stop. And the reason why it does that is because sometimes whenever humans panic, we squeeze things instead of let go of things. So a dead man switch is meant to hold it right in the middle. And again, if you squeeze too hard, it kills it. And if you let go, it kills it. Okay? So you can literally have it log into a human that has, the 5 screens, or how many ever cameras we have here that we're looking at all times. 5, 6 screens, all just up. And that person have to grab that dead man. The vehicle be able to start driving again. Or again, if the human can't see it, can't see what's going on, they release the dead man, and then that basically e-stops the vehicle to come to a slow stop. And maybe they have to then manually drive, or maybe the vehicle has to operate at a very slow speed, aka a safe speed. And then another thing I'd like to add too that I don't hear a lot of other people talk about is redundancies. And especially if we're talking about redundancies with the human. So even if you were concerned about, and I don't hear people even talk about being concerned about teleoperators, which there should be some more concern around teleoperators and security and relying on one human. Again, we rely on one human to drive our car every day, but whenever it's somebody who's remote, not with the vehicle, you might need some redundancies. When I say redundancies, one simple thing that they could do for redundancies, solar field. I don't know if you can see it, probably too bright, but solar field out there. One thing they could do for redundancies is to have multiple teleoperators. So the way I was giving you that example of the dead man switch, you could have literally, as soon as the vehicle goes red-handed, 2 teleoperators come online that are maybe not even in the same facility. Maybe that's how you create a redundancy, right? And both teleoperators have to hold the dead man switch in order for the vehicle to continue. If either one of those people sees any issues, then they can immediately stop the car by releasing the dead man switch. And somebody would say, well, if you're gonna have 2 people servicing one vehicle, how does that make any feasible sense? The thing is they're not going to be servicing that vehicle all the time. Again, I've been driving for over 2.5 hours, and I just had my first intervention. And somebody would have had to jump in, intervene for like 10 seconds, and then jump back out. So if they wanted to, they could literally put 4 teleoperators on that, and again, 10, 20, 30 seconds of their support time would have been needed. That's it. And we've accomplished 2.5 hours of drive time. So the teleoperator thing is going to be something that ends up being very feasible. And on top of that, we'd have to see about latencies and stuff like that, but you can even have this being done in some remote country where labor is potentially cheaper. I mean, you could be doing this out of India, you could do this out of China, you could do this out of, again, all these different countries. The same way we have, teleservices and stuff like that, and all these teleservices are being operated out of the country. So, they can have that same type of model, especially if they built in a lot of redundancy. Again, you could have 2 people. Generally 2 is good for redundancy, but they could go 3, 4, and have 4 people have to hold a dead man switch in that instance if they wanted to. And now you're just creating multi-levels of redundancy to ensure the safety of like the human that's behind the seat or on the road. I was gonna say behind the wheel, but in the future there's not going to be a wheel, and if you're in the passenger seat, it's not going to be behind the wheel either. But yeah, definitely subscribe for more content like this. I'm going to keep updating you guys with different things like the glare, and just seeing how FSD is functioning, and just kind of putting it to the test. Again, if it does disengage on me, I'll post up another video. It might be just a quick 30-second video of FSD, and I'm gonna try to let it roll to a stop and then re-engage without even doing anything. Okay, so hopefully that was useful for you guys, and see you in the next one. Peace.